I want to show you a drink that started at the Hollywood Roosevelt, the library bar when I was there, and was the first time that I started to use fire in my drinks. It was something that just kind of came about. I love the idea of this, of using marshmallows and how do I use marshmallows in a drink, and the idea of having it on top and toasting them and having them on fire, and I remember people going crazy. But I also just really love the flavor of it, you know? And it's a very, very simple drink, making a chocolate syrup, going with tequila, and then having the marshmallows on top. So this is called the Mayan Campfire. And what I want to show you first is how to make the syrup, but that's the first thing. And we're just making a chocolate syrup. So there are chocolate powders and cacao powders that are sweetened or unsweetened. I prefer to use the unsweetened. So this is a natural cacao powder. I'm going to show you what I use because these are just basically from Whole Foods. So I use the cacao powder. This is actually from how chocolate is formed. Is from the cacao plant, which is what chocolate is made of. And this is after it's been dried and roasted, they grind this down, and that's the chocolate flavor. So I'm going to put 1 cup of this into the pan. And then because it's unsweetened, I'm going to do 1 cup, and I just use an organic cane sugar. You can use you can get this anywhere. But I'm going to do 1 cup of that. I'm going to start with putting, it's usually 2 parts of this to 2 parts of this. So we'll do 2 cups of water is the way to do it. And we're going to put this on the heat, okay? So one of the things I love to do is I love to use a whisk, because while it's heating, and we're going to take it over there right now, while it's heating, it's the easiest way to just keep it mixed and make sure that it goes quickly. So let's bring this over to the heat. And this shouldn't take too long. Once you create heat, it will really start to dissolve. And from there, you're going to really understand the thickness and the water and all that. And then what you're going to do is just let this dissolve, let it cool down. Sometimes I put it in the freezer if I need to use it right away, and then we'll get to the cocktail. Okay, so the chocolate syrup basically has cooled for about 30 minutes. Again, sometimes when I want to accelerate this, I just put it in a freezer, as long as it, I don't have to lean it on something and it doesn't spill. So this is perfect. I'm ready to strain it. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in a bottle that I can use. So this is going to make about 8 to 10 cocktails, and this will last easily for about 2 weeks. So we're going to strain that in there. And now we've got this whole thing of chocolate syrup. Okay, so let's build this now. Okay, really simple. It's equal proportions. It's 2 ounces of tequila. I'm going to use a Blanco tequila, because once you start adding chocolate syrup, that tequila is going to be lost, right? So there's no reason to spend money on a reposado or an añejo, something that could be a lot more expensive. So let's put 2 ounces of that in there, okay? We'll start with 2 ounces of the tequila. This is Malago, which is a really great, like not too expensive tequila. And then we are going to do 2 ounces of the chocolate syrup. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. It can't get any easier than that. Obviously, this is a dessert cocktail for the most part, right? It is sweet, but you still get that flavor of tequila, which is so great. Okay, now the most important part of this is we are going to use a double old-fashioned. And the most important part besides that torch is to get yourself a big block of ice, or to make yourself a big block of ice, because that is your platform for kind of stacking all these marshmallows to roast them, right? Okay, so we're gonna shake this up. I'm gonna get a little bit of ice here. Give that a shake. Again, you can tell the chocolate syrup is perfect, right? It's liquidy enough, but it's dark and rich. That's exactly what you're looking for. So if you follow that formula perfectly, you can't go wrong. And let's strain that into here. And you just look at that richness. Ooh la la. Okay, so we've got that. Now the trick here is we're going to get the marshmallows in. So typically in a glass like this, I'm trying to get maybe 5 in there that I want them all pressed together, because we want it all to melt beautifully, right? When we torch it and they all kind of go together. Be careful, you're not gonna, you might want to put that one in the center first, right? Because that's the one, if you look at that, perfect, right? So the whole point of this is like, this automatically is going to bring up some kind of nostalgic for you, right? Everybody has gone camping or everybody has roasted marshmallows before, and there's a specific memory that comes from that. And I think, you know, so many people that I've shown this cocktail to, or they've seen this was in my original book, Eat Your Drink. It just, they grab it. It's such a, it's huge, something they can identify with. You know, they have a strong memory. So that's what I love about this too. And now we're going to roast it. And the roasting part is the part that's so individualistic. So I was not somebody who had a lot of patience. I wasn't going to sit there with the coals and brown each thing. I loved sticking those marshmallows right into the flames because it got gooey. I love that burnt flavor. I want to eat it. So that's what I'm going to do with here. But you're the one that's making it. You're the one that's presenting it. You know your guests. You know yourself. This is how I like to present. I think the flavor is awesome. So I'm going to turn this torch on. Again, this is something you can order online. A lot of maybe even hardware stores might have that. But this will be your biggest goose chase, but it'll be worth it. And usually you get this torch with like, usually comes with extra butane, so it will last for a while. So the whole point is you keep moving it around, okay? You do not want that glass to get too hot because it actually could shatter. But I like moving it around. You want, it's nice to have different nooks and crannies. It's nice that it's flaming. Again though, I can let it flame a little bit, but I want it to be a little bit richer. It's getting there. You know, I want it to be black. I want to be able to eat it. You could probably stop it before I went that last time. But the whole fun of this is I want to present this the way that I want to present it. All right, so I'm pretty much done. I'm going to let that go. Of course, you don't want to blow the flame out like a birthday cake because actually people have to drink and eat this. So I actually use my hand, and there you go. And I kind of look around. Sometimes it's like some of them are pushing off, so I might like, you know, they're gooey, but I might want to push it in. But that's probably perfect. Now, you will want to invest, you will want to take the time, if you can, to get a silver straw or a metal straw. It's really, really important because you don't want that to melt, right? But that's where you're going to get the flavor from. And then what I like to do is just have a spoon on the side so I can eat the marshmallow, okay? So let's take a sip. Again, this is called the Mayan Campfire. It's unbelievable how simple that is, but so much flavor. The important thing is the reason why I keep those proportions the same is I'm tasting the tequila. The tequila is really shining, right? But then you've got the sweetness of the chocolate, and then what's really important is to have a bite of the marshmallow and then go back to the drink, right? So I'm going to take this top one, get this nice gooey burn. I might even do two. What the hell? How can somebody not like burnt marshmallow flavor? It is incredible. Go right into the sip. Perfect. Perfect dessert. Perfect drink if you've already eaten. Maybe you didn't have a drink with the meal, right? Maybe you didn't have any wine. Maybe you didn't have any cocktails, but you want your dessert and your booze after, or you want your dessert and your alcohol after your meal. It's perfect. So listen, again, if you don't have the time, if it's last minute, if you need to buy your syrup, if you need to go get Hershey syrup, I totally understand. But if you can really invest the time, you know, it's not everybody. I love the process of doing things, not just creating things from scratch, but the process. And I like kind of having a relationship with it. So I want you to have fun with it, make it your own. Cheers.